Put it on the Auburn game.
Me? I'm sorry.
Can I help you?
The one right next to this one. Sharon. Do you turn on the Auburn game, guys?
I think it's on.
Oh, it is. Oh, it's already the fourth quarter. 11 minutes left.
You mean I can sit? When we adjust it when you sit down.
You're good. Just waiting for it to connect. Yeah, bro.
Is that Matt?
Buddy?
Hang on.
Yo, you got it?
Can't see you.
Yeah, I'm here. I'm coming. Howdy ho, neighbor.
He's sideways.
Easy?
Like that wine shed.
Oh, buddy, you there?
Can't see you.
Yeah, I'm here. I'm coming.
Is that Matt?
Mm-hmm.
He sounds.
All right, he's gone.
He's gone? Oh, my goodness.
I'm saying, what do you mean by he's gone?
His image disappeared.
Hello? I'm gonna sit down. Need water?
Coming, bro. Coming. Get at me. You there?
Hey.
I got
Yeah.
you, bro. You there?
Yup.
How we feeling?
Good, bro. Hang on. We're there's a little latency. This happened at halftime as well, but we caught up. So I think this is gonna be just fine. Just give me a sec. Bump.
Wouldn't be whiskey and wine without any technical difficulties.
All right. You can hear me good?
Yep.
You got me loud and clear?
You good, Jay? I got you loud and clear, player.
Boom. I'm getting my whole setup ready, bro. All right. Let's see. Pull this.
How about you sign?
Can I rock the pods? No, I got people in the room. They want to hear it.
Does that mean we can't curse?
Yeah.
All right.
I mean, I got little J's laying around.
Ooh.
So, I mean, I'm not gonna
Tell him it's bedtime.
Yeah.
Oh, that's right. This ain't gonna work. Boom. Get this out of here. Boom. That's gone. Boom. Get this out of here. I need this one. Hang on.
Don't forget about pourchoices.life, P-O-U-R choices.life to read about and hear and keep up with the wine that we're drinking tonight. Tonight we got a Cabernet Sauvignon from the world-renowned family-owned Raymond Vineyards. It's called La Cabaret. It's a beautiful bottle. Check it out, bro. Little feather for the eagles on the side of the bottle there. Yes, indeed.
All right.
And remember, Pour Choices, P-O-U-R choices.life. And, of course, Plant Machine Works. Our good people over there. PlantMachineWorks.com. Cheers.
All right, brother. I'm getting my pour rolling right now, dude. Here we go. Cheers. Cheers.
Cheers to you, bro.
All right.
Everybody, raise a bottle
So
out
here's
there.
here's what's abundantly clear to me, and this is what I kind of got to get recalibrated here is so we can hear each other fine. My screen has some latency, so I can't. That's what I got to remember. I can't watch the screen. We just got to talk. All right, I'm hitting shares. Everybody, look, you know the drill, right? Don't be a square. Hit the mother of a share. All right. Let's get this thing rolling the right way. Everybody, don't be a square. Hit the share button. We've explained this before. Facebook, they're fascists. They killed, entirely killed organic search. So the only way people can find this is if you hit the share button. So hit the share button. As Jordy Sign says, don't be a square. Hit the share. So that way we can get a lot of people in on this. We can do right by Plant Machine Works. And what's the wine people you said? Pour something?
Yeah, Poor Choices. POUR choices.com. Is that a touchdown, Jay?
All right.
Touchdown.
Who scored?
For all of them.
Oh, I'm going to have to pull this.
21.
I said they're going for 2, huh? All right, I'm getting everybody be patient with us here. We're just getting set up. All right. Boom. All right, I'm good on my end. Ready to roll. Let's do it. All right, cheers. Cheers. All right, here we go. How about to the Joe Brady era of LSU football? Taking LSU out of the Stone Age offensively, making everything feel relevant and fun. The offense that fans have just absolutely been thirsting for. It's here, man. Oh my God. Like, oh, bruh. I mean, I don't want to like overdo it here. It was Georgia Southern, but still, man, you know, Clemson last year beat them 38-7. LSU had 42 at the half. I mean, this was a name your score type night, and for the first time ever running this offense in a real game, brother, to put up 472 yards, 55 points, 23 first downs. And Jay, the thing we didn't talk about at all at half because we were so enamored with the offense is the fact that LSU's defense held that triple option offense that we all talked about, how they were so good and their quarterback and blah, 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 98 yards of total offense.
And, dude, it really wasn't even that close. Like, you know, like, I mean, I thought some of their yardage was kind of gifted to them. I'm like you. You know, I was telling my crew, I don't want to overreact, but like I told you at halftime, this is the best opening showing since I've been in radio for sure, since I've been covering LSU, maybe since that Oregon game that you referenced in 2011 for sure. But when you just account for everything that you heard about in the offseason, that there was going to be change to the offense, then you look at the quarterback's numbers tonight, and collectively, Miles Brennan and Joe Burrow were 30 of 39 for 350 yards with 5 touchdowns, and all 5 of those coming in the first half on the right arm of your starting quarterback. You know, that was the difference all off season. We were traveling around, and you and I have spoke to men's clubs and groups all around the city, and every off season it's been the same thing. They've had playmakers at defensive back. They've had top line running backs. They've had playmakers on the outside. They've had big time defenders and in safeties. What Delpit, Devin White, all these guys. The quarterback position is the security on why they have these preseason accolades, rankings, and expectations going into the season. And to see him be so comfortable in that offense, Matt, take the numbers out of it. Just look at his body language out there, man. How he was just in such command of everybody around him and what they were trying to do. that more than anything, the confidence level that they're playing with tonight. We talked a little bit about the penalties, and they're going to have to clean that up. Especially here in the early part of the season. But just the confidence that they played with on offense specifically, and under his direction, under Burrow's direction, is the reason why you feel like they are a true contender after week one. Like LSU to me is going to be one of those teams that people say, "What'd you learn about week one?" Is that LSU's for real. Forget the opponent. Look at what they put on the tape. Look at what they put on the field. They're for real.
You know what's funny to me? So I'll make this prediction, and everybody, I'm watching all the comments. They're flying by. I'm trying to keep up as best I can. Someone asked if Jordy's sitting at the kids' table. He's sitting down. What's gonna happen, because nobody was watching that game tonight. Nobody. Okay, like the country wasn't watching LSU beat the mess out of Georgia Southern. So they might look at the final score and go, "Oh wow, that was good, Al," but it was Georgia Southern. Like they didn't watch it. Like we watched it, and so don't be discouraged because you're not gonna hear a ton of hype for LSU after that game. It's just the nature of it. People are going to be talking about the storylines are going to be whatever happens here in this Oregon-Auburn game. It's going to be the two old coaches, Les and Mac Brown, both rallying. It's going to be the embarrassing losses, Tennessee, and then Iowa State darn near losing to Northern Iowa. Ole Miss losing to Memphis, although to a lesser degree. LSU blowing out Georgia Southern isn't an interesting topic nationally. But I'm going to tell you what, bro. Next week is your shot because everybody's going to be watching you next week. Yeah, I mean, LSU, Texas, I know A&M and Clemson are on next week as well, and that may be where game day goes. But next week's your shot, brother. You go over there, and that offense, which we saw tonight, shows up in Austin, and you put up 40 points on that team, everyone's going to go, holy shit, LSU can actually have an offense. And that's the national wake-up call right there. Is
Texas on the
yeah,
Longhorn
they are.
Network tonight?
So I saw it was 24-0. I don't have Longhorn Network, so I saw they were up 24-0. I don't know if you have a current score, but I'm looking. 38-7. 13 minutes to go in the fourth. So, I mean, look, here's the reality, man. Sam Elliner's a really good player. They got receivers, bro. They spread it around, and
Dude, I'm telling you, the matchup is going to be LSU's DBs on their wide receivers. I mean,
yeah,
that to me next weekend is so intriguing. We were talking to Jim Nagy, who's the executive director of the Senior Bowl, and he was talking about Christian Fulton going on one of their senior wide receivers at Texas. Big body guy. His name slips my mind right now, but I mean, you talk about some of the one-on-one matchups that you're going to have a chance to see next weekend. How good did
awesome.
Caleb Vaughn look tonight? I mean, dude, you forget that was 365 days ago. That guy experienced an ACL injury, and he is moving, bouncing around like he came off that thing a year and a half ago. I mean, his speed off the edge. You don't realize, you forget because Devin White covered up so much last season and dealt it. What you lost in losing just a natural pass in Chasson, man. I mean, he gives you so much, he just gives you so much.
Dude, so this guy, Tim Edwards, said Chasson looked fast. He did, but you know what stood out more to me with Chasson tonight was the hit he put on Shyworks, and he made another play on the sideline where he came in and just cleaned up a guy. Like, I think the perception is, at least mine was, remember what Mingo was? Like, super fast, athletic, edge rush, but Mingo wasn't laying the wood on nobody. He was chasing you down and getting you on the ground. Chasson was delivering thunder tonight, and that surprised me because he wasn't that as a freshman, and I don't know if he would have been that last year, but it's pretty obvious, dude. He's put together in a different kind of way. Like he's more of a complete end instead of just that athletic guy coming off the edge. I mean, that's the thing that surprised me tonight with him was he hit when he blew up Wirtz and forced the fumble, that was on a 3rd and 17, and Delpit got the recovery. That was like, oh shit! Like he's a different kind of dude this year.
Well, I think you see that chip he's playing with, missing last season, man. I mean, you spend a lot of time in that rehab room. A player of his caliber, you find a lot of motivation. You can see the way that he's flying around out there. That he's highly motivated. I love the way that Sheldon played tonight.
Yeah.
I mean, he's a guy that's been knocked a lot the offseason. I thought that he moved
Dude,
around.
so I'm glad you brought up. One of the things I wrote down, and I saw Jasker and Singh just asked about running backs. I want to get to that in a second. But one of the things that I was surprised by when the depth chart came out this week, I was surprised to see Fehoko as a backup. I thought Lawrence and Fehoko would be your starting ends, but they started Glenn Logan, so opposite Lawrence. So they must be super high on Logan. That surprised me. The other thing is, I don't know if you noticed, but they brought in LSU went up 21-0, and Georgia Southern had the ball at to start the second quarter, and that's whenever LSU brought in their subs. And that's whenever they got their first down. Fehoko had an offsides, which gave him a first down, and then that's when so like they got a few first downs, and then there was a 3rd down play. They rotated the starters back in, and that's when Rashard Lawrence got the sack fumble. So I mean, I don't know how you feel about it, man. And that was a little nuance, obviously, but that was the only time in the game when they moved the ball was when LSU rotated Lawrence, Logan out and brought in Farrell and Fehoko and then Apu in the middle. And that's the only time they really started moving the ball on him in the first half. That was, I don't know, man. I don't know if that's just me reaching, but I was surprised to see that with Fehoko tonight.
Yeah, no, look, and man, the story of the depth chart being published earlier this week was Fehoko behind those two guys in Logan and Rashard. Man, hey, look, Rashard blew the line of scrimmage up a couple of times tonight.
Yeah,
and I know that's opponent, but it's just good to see him have that explosion back because of just the offseason and what he dealt with, the knee, the ankle, the surgery, and he missed some time in fall camp. So it was good to see him out there exploding off of that leg and off of that knee. It's interesting to think about what Divinity will look like in this lineup because we talked about it at halftime, but Damone Clark, man, I mean, the way that he played sideline to sideline and the way that the comparison that I can bring to White is that he is a for sure if he gets his hands on you, man, you're going to the ground. And in week one, that's a great sign because look around college football and the stories of early season play has to be either, penalties and mistakes or missed tackles. And to see Damone Clark, being a for sure tackler at this point in the season like that as a guy that, Matt, have you ever seen a head coach go out of their way more than Orgeron did this offseason to talk about one player than he did
Ed picks his guys. There's no question. When Ed's high on a guy, you know it. Like, who his guy is, so because of that, I was not surprised to see Damone Clark in the game, rotating in the first half, especially with Divinity out. So, and he looked the part, man. So where does that leave Micah Baskerville? Is he just odd man out?
I hadn't heard his name all camp. Like I haven't heard about him.
I was looking I was looking for 23. I didn't see him.
I didn't see him either. It just seems like he's been passed up, man. But Clark looked great, and then to think about what Divinity can bring to the line because Jacoby Stevens, I think Justin Herbert might be hurt. He's holding his knee. He's not getting up.
I'm delayed here. So Auburn went for 2 and didn't get it?
Well, the score is 21-20.
So I just saw I'm at 7:01, 7 minutes running clock. They just ran an underneath pass.
No, I'm at 6:20 in the fourth.
Okay, so
20 and Herbert.
I'm about 30. Yeah, I'm 2 plays behind you. All right, so let's answer this guy's question real quick. And by the way, shout out Ramon Richardson, Taylor Johnson, Todd Dupuy, Ryan Peters, Dylan Briley, Danny Jackson, Drew Paquette, Stephen Miller. What's up, y'all? Steven said y'all see 77 or 45. So did you see Sadiq or Divinity? I mean, they both neither. They were.
Yes, I can confirm that both.
They dressed.
Both were dressed. They dressed out. They went through pregame. They were on the sideline.
They dressed. Didn't play. So a guy asked about running backs. So how do you feel about what they did with the running backs tonight, which was first series was Clyde, second series was Leonard. Second series was Clyde, third series was Leonard, fourth series was Ty Davis Price. 1, 2, 3, 4. Fifth series was Emery. Hey, bud, what you doing? Drew just came in here. Hey, come see. Come see, bud.
Dude, you know what? I loved it. I gotta be honest. Like, I love that. I love the way they use the running back.
Come see. Dude, look at my dude wears a robe. Check him out, bro. My dude wears a robe. He's like Hugh Hefner, bro.
What up?
Hey, bud, I love you. Are you going tonight? I love you. You see Dad's show?
Well,
Look, it's Dad's show. It's Dad's show.
What's up, Drew boy?
I got my AirPods in, so I don't think he can hear you. Can you say hi, Jordy?
Hi, Joey.
Joey.
Hey,
Joey.
Hey,
All right, bud.
bud.
I'll see you later. I love you. Here you go. No, here you go. Here you go.
Good.
All right, so running backs. So you loved what they did with the running backs.
I love it. Week 1, I mean, like, if I'm looking at the distribution after week 1 and I see that Clyde got 9 carries after that, Emery gets 6, Davis Price 5, Chris Curry 2. I mean, and then, like Joe Burrow and Miles Brennan a couple of carries. I mean, I'm good with that because I believe all season long that they're going to have the entire room. The one guy that I could probably live without in the rotation is going to be Curry. And I think that at some point he's probably going to be
Bro, did you see? I don't know, man. Late in the game, I'll grant you it was late, bro, but that one he ripped off late was nice, man.
No, dude, and I'm good with the run, Scone, but what most worries me on Curry is pass protection. The play in the first half that was the most concerning was Burrow taking the free shot off the edge, and I know that the offensive line is going to get the most criticism on that, but Curry has to recognize he's got to slide over and kick up that protection.
All right, so in fairness –
and for a guy like him, he's got to make those types of plays to get on the field. Emery's going to play. You know what I mean? Emery's playing. Davis is playing. Clyde's playing. Chris Curry's going to have to stand out in this game to get on the field.
I'm with you on that. My question – so first of all, I'm cool with playing all of them as long as you don't have ego. The only way that becomes a problem is if you have ego. So like Clyde, for example, played the first series, the second series, and then it was Leonard. The next 3 series were Leonard, Ty Davis Price, Emery, and then Clyde came back in for the last 2 series before half. So he basically went 4 drives without getting on the field. So if you got guys with ego that are going to fold their arms and pout about not getting on the field or not getting more touches, like that's when it's a problem. But Jay, like my point all along with this LSU team, I have said all offseason, you want to know what this running back room looks like? Look at 2011 at the end of the season. The leading rusher was Michael Ford with like 780, and then Spencer Ware had like Spencer Ware had like 750, and then you had Alfred Blue and Kenny Hilliard and who else was there's someone else I'm missing in there too. Anyway, they played 5 guys, and Jordan Jefferson ran a little bit, and nobody was a 200.
Spencer Ware, bro.
No, I said Spencer. I said Michael Ford and Spencer Ware were each over 700 yards. Then you had like Alfred Blue, you had Kenny Hilliard. Somebody else was in that mix as well. But Jordan Jefferson, ran a good bit. But that's my point, though. It's like nobody was a 20 carry a game guy, but everybody was fresh, and that was what I liked the most, bro. Whenever like when Ty Davis Price came into the game, when Emery came into the game, bro, there was fresh legs running with something to prove against a defense that had already been leaned on a little bit. I mean, that's what looked good, man. You had fresh legs the whole game. I mean, I'm good with it as long because I don't think any one of those guys right now is so dynamic relative to the others where you go and you're doing yourself a disservice not having him on the field. Does that make sense?
Absolutely. No, it does, 100%. And I think that these freshmen aren't in a position where they can have any type of ego going into the season because at some point they're going to, they're going to be the future. They're going to be the guys. But I think I love the comparison to 2011 because it has that type of talent. Terrence McGee's the guy that we were probably
I don't think McGee was out there in 11. Someone said Jeremy Hill. Remember that was the season Hill sat out. He'll play. Yeah,
No,
Hill played. It wasn't Hill. Hill played 12 and 13. That was the year he had his legal issue. Was in 11.
Yeah.
All right, let's see.
Auburn
came up with the stop.
Got it.
No, you're good. You're good. I think I'm caught up there. Like I just saw it. So I'm at 5:30 right there. So Auburn gets the ball back 5:30 first to go in the game, 1st and 10.
Yep. Down one.
Hey, bro, we got to talk about this too, man. I have my whole list of the good and the bad from tonight I want to get into, and we're going to get – hey, everybody watching, y'all do us a favor. If you're just jumping aboard, please hit the share button. I know we peaked up around 700 viewers, so y'all keep rolling. But to do something we got to talk about. Bro, we have got to talk about the SEC's day, bro. This was a dog shit day for the SEC. I mean, this was – and maybe it goes back to your point about how the SEC is wide open because of it. But perception matters and all that stuff. And man, this was not this. Dustin Lee said McGee wore 18. No, McGee wore 18 in 2014. I'm talking about 2011.
Yeah, no.
You're gonna make me.
Yeah, 2011. Was that Benny Logan? No, Benny Logan.
They're gonna make me go look this shit up, bro.
It was. Yeah, you know who it was? It was the linebacker Lamine Barrow. Look at Knicks, true freshman. Oof.
Here you go. All right, Michael.
Yeah, no. Terrible day for the SEC, bro. Alabama as vulnerable.
McGee had 27 carries that year. So it was Ford, Ware, Blue, Hilliard, Jefferson. Then McGee had 27 carries. He was not wearing 18 that year, but he had 27 carries. And then Russell Shepard had 7 carries. Anyway, all right, I'm done. I'm done with my 2011 comparison, but I think that's what it looks like. Yeah. Fuck yeah, let's go. All right. So, hey, you know what else, dude? Like, whenever you have a 50, what the hell was his final score? 55-3. When you have a score like that, you forget about some things early in the game that happened that ended up being, like, consequential. LSU was up 14-0. And one of the few bad balls that Burrow threw, he underthrew Terrace Marshall on a ball in the end zone. And then
in the end zone?
Yeah, he was open, bro. Second down, they threw it to Jamar Chase. They had 3rd and 2. At 3rd and 2, and Clyde Edwards-Helaire got stuffed. 4th and 2, Ed goes for it. And they converted with Leonard. And then that's whenever they threw the fade to Justin Jefferson for the touchdown on the first down play. That 4th and 2, bro, in that moment, it would have been real easy for Ed to run Cade York out there. And a year ago, you better believe, you bet your ass they're running Cole Tracy out there in that spot a year ago. But, man, I think, I love the decision to go for it. You're up 14, put the pedal down, show that you will, convert it, all that stuff. But that was a moment early in the game where, maybe you run Cade York out there. If he misses, it feels a little different. But, Ed on 4th and 2 was like, bullshit, we're going for it. And they converted. I thought that was an awesome moment early.
No, I thought so too. And look, I thought that was a nice little fuse of energy and confidence to his offense. Kind of saying, look, man, all the offseason, we've talked about you guys. We've showed the confidence that we believe in you. Now go out here and prove us right. And I thought that I saw a lot of that tonight in Ogeron. There was a shot of him on the sideline after an offensive conversion and touchdown that came to him, and he had an enormous just smile on his face, man. And it was, absolutely. That's exactly what I told him. And she was like, look at me. She's like laughing out there. I was like, yeah, he is, man. I mean, finally he's got exactly what he's looking for. And I said, who's paying more attention to this than anybody and we're going to talk about this all week, and we're going to be gloating about the offense, and you and I could probably stay up and do this until 2 o'clock in the morning talking about it. But you know who's paying most attention to it is the rest of the country. The rest of the country is looking around and going, oh, shit, they got an offense. They got an offense, man. They got an offense that can game plan. I mean, Scone, if nothing else, look at the way that they ran the screens tonight. I mean, how organized and good did the screen game look? I mean, every offseason they tell you that they're going to work screens in. I saw tunnel screens. I saw wide receiver screens. I saw middle screens. I saw running back screens to the outside. And not only were they executed well with the way that they were run, they were called in the perfect spots. Like, I mean, like the touchdown to Marshall felt like a Dwayne Bowe wide receiver screen that Jimbo called in 05. You know what I mean? Like, it just felt like it just
How much do you think?
You know, like in the right spot, in the right, I mean, just in the right circumstance. So, I mean, dude, the screen game had me more fired up than anything. And I can't wait to see how they game plan Texas, because that was I heard you talking about it on Thursday and Friday about like people saying, I hope they don't hide anything. Like, hide anything? They're not in a position to hide anything. They're not good enough to hide anything. No, like they got to go out and make sure that what they've installed is working. And I think that they have the confidence now that they can game plan week by week.
Did you hear even old boy on the broadcast? Again, I don't know his name, whatever his name was. He even said, put all this on film for Texas. I mean, did you see? Did you?
Yes. Like the Clyde run,
when
they snapped the Clyde.
They had Burrow offset and had Clyde direct snap. I was like, you damn right you put that on film. You put that on film and you make them prepare for it. Like anything you make them prepare for that you have no intention of running, you absolutely put that shit on film. Like, I mean, it's so funny how, I mean, like I get it. I mean, we've covered this team and we've lived it for long enough now. But like, think about how pumped we are about the screen game and shit. This is basic things that Catholic High and Gabe Fertitta are running, right? That like the games you called it U High for the last decade, like you saw every Friday night, but was just foreign to LSU. It's just like, this is what it should be, man. So yeah, I mean, hey, you know the other thing, that's dude.
Offense.
That was
like, dude. That wide receiver screen, Burrow checked into that.
I loved it, bro.
Scrimmage. Like, welcome to 2019, man. You know, like, give your quarterback the autonomy to walk to the line of scrimmage, understand math, and see that the numbers are in his advantage to that side, call the screen, and Marshall walked in.
That was Marshall's first one, right?
Second. I think it was his second. I think he caught like a skinny post, the wide receiver screen, and they hit him on a seam route for the third. He had 3 catches tonight.
Wait, those were his only 3 catches?
At halftime, it was.
Let's see, here he is. He had 4. So he had 4 for 31 with 3 scores. So dude, you know the other thing we gotta mention, bro, how nice was it that they threw the ball to Thad Moss? He had on the first drive, on the 3rd down play, dude, first play of the game, they threw an incomplete pass. And then they gave it to Clyde, and he got 7 yards. 3rd and 3, they throw it over the middle to Moss for 17. And then his only other catch of the night was the last drive before half when they hit the 44-yarder down the right sideline. I mean, you know, like that, they threw it to Pettigrew. He dropped one in the second half. And then TK McClendon had a catch, bro.
Yes, and that was a nice
12 yards. Dude, it was 12 yards. I mean, like, they're
right up the seam. Right up I mean, when's the last time that LSU's played this much between the numbers, between the hash marks? And, dude, hear me out on this. I don't know if this is good. Jamal Pettigrew, after watching TK McClendon and watching Thaddeus Moss play, if I'm Jamal Pettigrew, the way that he is built and the way that he cannot catch, I would walk into James Craig and Ed Ogeron's office and say, try me at left tackle. You don't have a left tackle? I understand how they pay left tackles at the next spot. Look at the way I'm built. Scone, he looks exactly like a left tackle to me. Look at the way he's built. And like I hate to say this about the college kid, but he can't
Dude,
catch.
he dropped
You know what I mean?
one
Like,
right on his hand, no doubt.
Dude, it hit him in the numbers. On this roster, if you can't make that catch and Moss and McClendon are making those types of catches, bro, you need to play somewhere else if you really want to get on the field. And to me, he looks like a left tackle. And, just for future earnings, if I'm standing next to him, hey, man, the left tackle's the third highest paid guy on the field, at the NFL level, behind the cornerback and the quarterback. I mean, go out there, or the defensive end and the quarterback. I mean, go try to get some of that money. If you really want to play, they got an opening there. They need tackles. To me, if I'm Pettigrew, I'm walking in Monday morning and understanding that they got guys below me and above me that can play. If I need to, what's the fastest way to get me on the field?
He's 6'6", 258. You got to put 50 pounds on that kid. He ain't playing left tackle this year.
Well, you know what? Like Tommy Moffitt, get to work.
Okay, that ain't happening this year. Bro, you got the same problem right now with Ray Parker. You got the same problem with Ray Parker. I mean, he came in like he's once going to be groomed to be an offensive lineman, but he's 250. And so he wasn't going to play this year. Sure as hell ain't going to play tight end. They got so many of them right now. So he's like, hey, can I just go try to be an edge rusher? Okay. I mean, you got a better shot of getting Pettigrew on the defensive line at 6'6", saying, hey, bro, just throw your hands up and see if you can bat a pass on third down. Like when they might throw,
I'm just saying, if I'm Pettigrew tonight, after the way that what I put on film and what the guys next to me put on film, I'm position searching come Monday morning.
Yeah, I mean, look, dude, I got you. I mean, he ain't going to get on the field at tight end this year, which is sad, dude, because he was going to play last year. Like, he was going to play a lot before he tore his ACL. Hey, real quick, shout out to Plant Machine Works. Plant Machine Works, machine company in Baton Rouge. My guy, Travis McGraw, he told me, he was like, bro, look, dude, I love this guy so much. He goes, hey, like, we're a machine company. We're boring. Like, he goes, like, everybody's watching your show. Like, they just want to hear about the games. Like, just tell people we need machinists, we need millwrights, we need welders. So if that's you and you're looking for a career, not a job, if you want a great living, like, for some of these machinists over there, like 80, 90 grand, I mean, you're looking for a career, not a job, look up Plant Machine Works. They're a Baton Rouge, locally owned company, been around since the late 1970s. Awesome people. They gave us swag. They gave you wine. They gave me whiskey. And they gave us these signs and everything. So shout out to our guys. So they're tagged in this post. If y'all could like their Facebook page, that would be awesome. Plant Machine Works. All right, let's see. What's happening with Auburn, bro?
21-20 Oregon. Under a minute left to play. Auburn's got the ball.
Oh, first down.
Looks like right around the field.
I'm at minute 21, so they just got a first down. All right. All right, let me see this.
Second and 10. Clock's on the move. Here comes Nix. Play-by-play. Pitch and catch, 9-yard pickup. 3rd and 1 coming up with 30 seconds left. Right. Auburn's got one time.
John Capone, what's up? Craig Dugas, Scott Salvage. So, all right, let's get into this, Jay. Scott Salvage says LSU looks better than Bama, Georgia, and Clemson. All right, so Bama played Duke, Georgia went on the road and played Vandy, and Clemson played Georgia Tech at home. I think Clemson looked the best out of anybody, so let's not get that sideways. But Bama and LSU, yep. Bama, Georgia. LSU had the weakest opponent of the three, but
yep.
But did you watch the Bama game today?
I did. I mean, Matt, vulnerable.
They got rolling.
Vulnerable. Offense is explosive. Defensive, I mean, really and truly, when I look at LSU and Alabama just peeking ahead, and I went on a rant earlier this week on the radio that we shouldn't talk about and highlight the Alabama game, but here we go.
Hey, bro, take your own advice. I don't want to hear that shit.
To me, right now, after game 1, it looks like it could be a shootout.
So I think, first of all, I think LSU's defense is too athletic after what I saw tonight, bro. They are deep and they are athletic. I want to see them next week against Texas, against an offense with a pulse, a modern offense with a pulse. That's going to spread you out, speed you up. But I think LSU's got depth. I love the front seven. I've been singing that song all summer, and I believe it. Delpit, Stevens, Todd Harris, I thought, to me, was the biggest. Like we talked about at halftime.
Yes.
He looked great tonight. Like physically, He looked
He
like,
looked great,
okay,
bro. He looked great.
like you can put Delpit and Harris back at the safety spots, and then you can let
Coach, you know who made a couple of plays when he had a chance tonight was
he
Eric
did.
Monroe.
He
11.
changed his number. Cam Lewis was wearing 31. He was in on some special teams plays. So they got bodies, but the best thing about having Delpit and Harris back there is it allows Jacoby Stevens to freelance, and he was awesome tonight. They haven't posted a final defensive box score, but I want to see how many tackles Jacoby Stevens had, because it felt like in the first half he made every damn play in the first half.
Bro, he was
So
everywhere. He was everywhere.
all right, so give me a thought here on the day the SEC had.
Weak. I mean, like people like Danny Cannell are feasting to get on the air Monday morning. Like Missouri and Wyoming. Wyoming just beat Missouri 37-31.
Wait, it's over? They beat them?
You look at them.
Oh, bro, your boy had Wyoming. Ching,
Was the money line
ching.
play?
No, I took the 17.
No way. Oh, okay.
Yeah.
I was about to say. Winner. Take
Why
it home, bro.
is Missouri going to Laramie, Wyoming to play at altitude in week 1?
AD needs to be fired over
Bro.
that scheduling.
What the fuck? I mean, by the way, we remember the old guy last year who got all upset and emailed Gordy because we said fuck. Gordy said, hey, just do me a favor, put NSFW language on the post. You gotta go back and do that so people know. So we drink and curse on this show. So if you don't like drinking and cursing, I'm sorry. It's probably not going to be good for you. Did he make it?
One email in 3 years. I like the odds.
Bro, did he make that? Oh, that was pregame?
What?
So.
Oh, no, the new sign? Oh, no.
No. Auburn.
Holy shit. Yeah, he did. They just scored a touchdown.
They scored a touchdown, so they're going to cover?
They just scored a touchdown with 9 seconds left.
Oh, man.
There's a flag down.
Bro, I'm looking at 21 seconds. Dude, that is devastating. Dude, that is devastating for the Pac-12, bro.
This is the nail.
Dude.
True freshman quarterback. Scone, we're talking about the SEC's day. This could save them.
But you know what this does? This is devastating for the Pac-12. But you know what?
This is crushing for the Pac-12. Worst loss of the day has to be Memphis, Ole Miss, or Wyoming, Missouri.
Oh, dude, Tennessee. Are you kidding?
No,
Tennessee losing to Georgia State.
Yeah,
bro, they were a 30-point favorite, something like that. That's the biggest favorite to outright lose I saw in like 40 years. Well, in the SEC in like 40 years. Dude, that Georgia State loss for Tennessee is miserable. I mean, did it stand? Did the touchdowns?
Yes.
Wow. Wow. What was the penalty?
Was it a legal substitution? I didn't see what the penalty was.
9 seconds. Bro, that is killer for Oregon. That's devastating for Oregon, bro. I don't give a shit. But dude, you know who looked good was Washington with Jacob Eason as their quarterback.
Yes,
and bro,
did.
They
did.
Go look at Washington's schedule. Every tough game they have at home. On Auburn? Like after the touchdown?
On Auburn after the celebration.
Look at old Patty Nix. Jesus. Auburn. Anyway. All right, let's get to what some of these people are trying to say to us. All right. Let's see.
What you think about Cade York?
So, bro, the first field goal, your boy just squeezed it in that. Oh man, dude, I thought he was gonna doink it, but it went through, and then he made the 48-yarder and nailed it. So, ain't no doubt he's got the leg, man. I mean, that's undeniable. So that's awesome. I love seeing him make the 48-yarder. I thought Von Rosenberg punted awesome tonight. T-Bob asked me the question before the game. Josh Growden's gone, so you don't have your pooch punter. How does Von Rosenberg handle both duties? I thought he was great. Let's see. I'm just running through. Let's see. Traora and Dar Rosendahl played left tackle. The one play that stood out was Dar letting Burrow get rocked. We talked about that play in the first half. Talked about that play already. Here's what what?
Oh shit!
What?
Well, boy, try to take it back.
Why would you kick to him? 9 seconds? Why would you even kick to him? Let's see. All right, here's what I have listed as bad. All right. On the first drive, Deculus false start inside the 10, but they ended up scoring on the next play, so no harm, no foul. Fehoko had an offsides penalty, gave them a first down, but the next play is, I'm sure 2 plays later is when Rashard Lawrence got the sack, the strip sack, and the fumble, so they erased that. Burrow's underthrow on Marshall in the end zone, but that's whenever, as we talked about, they went for it on 4th and 2, got it, and scored.
Bro, I thought Queen was going to scoot and score.
Man. Tyler Shelvin had that face mask, which gave them 15 yards on their only scoring drive. That basically put them, in range to kick a field goal. What?
Jeez, Justin Herbert threw it 10 yards out of the back of the end zone.
Was that the last? Oh, bro, I just saw the kickoff. Holy shit, he got to the 35-yard line.
I'm telling you, so they got one pass. They got
he threw it. So they had one play and he threw it out the end zone.
He threw it 10 yards out the back of the end zone, like trying to show his arm.
Oh, whatever. All right, that's a win at chicken dinner. So it's over. All right, good.
It's over, bro. 27-21.
Okay, so I've got the other one I got. I took USC. So your boys had a pretty good day. Actually, bro.
Where has that game kicked off?
I think it was like 9:30. Bro, I had Ole Miss plus 4.5, and with like 2 minutes left, 3 minutes left, it's sitting on 13-10. So I'm like, cool. And Ole Miss has the ball. I'm like, cool. Couple first downs. Let's drive this thing. Whatever. You move the ball a bit. If you don't, whatever. They sit on. It's over. No problem. Ole Miss gets sacked in the end zone for a safety. They lose 15-10.
I saw it,
bro.
I saw it. I had Memphis minus the 3.
Well, you can eat shit.
Because it dropped the 3. It dropped the 3 right before kick.
But whatever.
And then I've got Fresno State.
Oh, see, I got SC laying the 14. Yeah. So we're going head to head in this one. All right, so we got to find out what's happening. All right, let's get to some of these.
14-3, Southern Cal up with 2:40
Bro,
left in the first half.
That's interesting, man, because their offensive coordinator is Graham Harrell, right?
Graham Harrell.
So he basically said, "Shit, let's go. Yeah, let's
Let me try to save.
Let's sling it around. Let's do the whole air raid thing. Let's go. I mean, we'll see." Michael Adams said, "Y'all drunk." Michael, I'm not drunk yet, but I'm on my way, brother. I'll tell you that much, because I don't drink at all during the day, because I got to do 5 hours of pregame. I watch the game, and I chart the game. I take my notes, so I don't drink during the game. I don't start until here. So, look, man, I'm only on my second pour, brother. I mean, you're drunk, Michael. You're jackass. You're drunk. How about that? Who was the guy? Who was the guy last year that we had to take down? Hathorn. Jeffrey Hathorn. Old Hathorn. Old asshole. Who's that old? What's that old asshole doing today? Let's see. All right, let's see. Ryan Peters must protect Burrow. I got you. Well, I think we're all in on that. We'll see how that goes next week, man. Jim Ferguson, what's up? Kevin Hardiman, what's up? Matthew Rogelio, what's up? Brandon English had How's That Jefferson's, Matt. It's fantastic. So I like this one a lot. This is the very old, very small batch. This runs you about $55 or so, $60. This is one of the ones that actually got me started on on small batch whiskey. It's a really, really good one. If you're looking to pay for it, you'll see it's bottled and labeled by number there on the small batch on the neck. So if you're into it, check it out. So cheers to Travis McGraw of Plant Machine Works, who not only sponsored the show, but also gave us our booze, gave me my Jeffersons. So shout out to Plant Machine Works, y'all.
Nice. And remember, if you want to keep up with the vino that we're drinking this fall, you can find out every game's pour at Pour Choices, POUR choices.life. Pourchoices.life. We got a question coming in here, Scone, from Troy Chattinger, asking, who are you guys most impressed with? I would say that I'm most impressed with Joe Burrow, with the way that he just handled the offense defensively. I thought that LSU defensively was great at all levels. I thought that Tyler Shelvin played great on the front line of the defense. I thought a couple of guys stood out on the second level, but Damone Clark is a guy that we heard about all season that Ogeron told us about. That was really the guy that stood out to me tonight. And then Jacoby Stevens, the way that he played in the first half. But really Delpit too, man. You know, Delpit, this is going to be interesting because Delpit was the guy that the way that they used Jacoby tonight, kind of the playmaker, kind of that Matthew type where you could move him around, you could do different stuff with. And Jacoby kind of emerged as that guy late in the season last year, so it takes some pressure off of Delpit where he doesn't have to do multiple things. I don't think he can have the 5-sack, 5-pick year again, Scone, but I think he could have more effect in the game this year, Delpit can, because he's playing in his natural position and you've got guys around him that you can kind of unleash. Stevens would be the best example.
So I agree with that, and I think a lot of teams are just going to avoid Grant Delpit. So it's going to be a pick your poison, which allows somebody else to have a big year, and that's quite honestly, that's probably Stingley. He'll take his lumps, but he's also just going to be targeted a ton, so he's going to find a way to make plays and probably stuff a stat sheet as well. So it's a fumble. Southern Cal, bro, 14-3. Fight on, bitch. How about that? Fight on. How about that? Fight on, Jordy. Put that. Fight on.
A lot of football.
Hey, a lot of opportunity for a landslide. Everyone's saying here the game day is confirmed for LSU Texas. You surprised by that, considering A&M and
Oh, he's down.
You're down.
He's
Your
down.
face is down. You're down. Hey, chill out. You're down. You're down.
He was down.
You're down.
No, I'm not surprised by that at all, man. If I'm watching tonight and I saw and I looked around the country, I think that Texas and LSU by far the most intriguing matchup. I mean, like, what?
Clemson and A&M?
Bro,
This
Clemson's
is, hold on, maybe. But
Clemson is going
maybe,
to roll
maybe,
Texas.
but this is literally the only game on the schedule that Clemson might lose. It's the only one. It's it.
Yeah.
The number one team in the country. It is the only game they might lose. That's it.
Dude, Scum, come on, dude. Are you kidding me? Like, you've got so many subplots on this story, on this game with Texas and LSU. Forget the fact the way that they performed in week one. You got the Ogeron.
Nobody cares. We care.
You got the 3 years ago stuff.
We care. The country doesn't care.
Yeah, but I think that game day with the producers that they have on set could spin some stories that really look intriguing next Saturday morning on game day.
I think you're going to see some this week, bro. I think you're going to see some.
What?
You're going to see some this week about LSU, Herman. I think you're going to see a lot of that. You can see a lot of that pop this week.
Yeah, for sure.
Anyway, let's see. Troy Shatner. Oh, so he's the one who asked most impressed with. You said Burrow.
Yeah, I said Burrow on offense. And then I said, like a combination of guys on defense, because I knew that this defense was going to be great. Everybody knew that this defense was going to be great. So I thought that Shelvin, Clark, Delpit, Stevens, all guys shined out. I mean, like you got guys at all levels on LSU's defense.
Everybody watching right now,
Jeez.
If you've not hit the share button yet, hit the share button, or I will find you. and this may not be intimidating, and it's fine if it's not, but I will annoy the shit out of you. I may not beat you up, but I will annoy the shit out of you. So hit the share button. All right.
What are you doing?
I was just getting in their face. Sorry about that. I'm not sorry. Sorry, I'm not sorry. So Sean Berthelot said Gus Malzahn just said he thinks they're the best team in the country. You think Auburn's the best team in the country? Hey, Chimes at Sazerac 18. That's good. Hey, early thoughts on the Texas game. That's Irfan Sayad. All right, so what you think? Early thoughts on the Texas game, bro? Go.
Cannot wait. Look, man, I think we've been talking about this game. Here we go. Little Texas. Look, Texas beating the doors off of them. They're beating the hell out of Texas.
Hey, bro.
Louisiana. 45.
Look at. You had the box score up,
man.
Look
no.
at.
But I can
Look at Louisiana Tech's passing statistics. Look at Tech passing. You have it?
I'm getting there.
Trivia Carter, come find me. Oh, you know I'll come find you, Trivia.
You're drunk.
Huh?
You're drunk. You're
drunk. You're drunk.
You're wasted.
Let's see. Hughes Bowden. Matt, ask RC if he still thinks the defense needs to be carried by the offense. Hey, Hughes, let's find out next week, bro. I like the defense, man. They flew around a ton, super athletic. But if you think what they faced tonight is anything close to what they're going to face next week in Austin, you're high. So I'm with you. Yeah.
Okay, I got your box.
Hit me with Tech's passing numbers.
Tech passing total yards 340 Scone, 35 of 54 for 340 yards. Golly, man, they got 25 first downs. Like, what the hell's? How do they only have 14 points?
Check turnovers. I don't know.
Turnovers 3-1, 3-1. Tech's turned over 3 times.
Well, there's your story. So, bro.
Yeah. Bro, time of possession. Louisiana Tech 32 to 27.
Dude, time of possession. Dude, bro. Time of possession is the most overrated statistic in football.
Total yards, 454 to 413 advantage Texas. How the fuck do they only have 14 points?
Well, I'm telling you, do you remember last year when Tech came to Baton Rouge? That little bastard threw for like 330 against LSU last year. Like, they sling it, bro. I'm telling you, like, the best thing for LSU's offense tonight or this week is that it was Louisiana Tech going to play Texas, because Texas is replacing a ton on defense, and Tech went to Austin tonight and basically just punched holes in that wall. That's like what happened tonight. So now LSU knows where they can go, where the weak spots are, where they can go exploit next week. I mean, you don't commit stupid penalties, you don't turn the ball over, you're going to win that game in Austin next week. I mean, I got all the respect in the world for Sam Eleanor. I think he's a good player. I think LSU fans are going to shit on him this week, but I've seen enough of him. He's a veteran quarterback and a really good player, and they got a lot of skill guys.
He's good.
He's
good. You know what they are? They're huge on the outside.
Dude, Colin Johnson's a man.
Like their LSU 3 years ago with Jazz Ferguson, Sullivan, D. Anderson, all the they're like 6'3", 6'4".
Do you know how big of a deal it is that Lil Jordan Humphrey decided to go pro? Like, I'm gonna tell you what, I would probably feel differently about this game if Lil Jordan Humphrey had come back, because last year they basically had 2,000-yard receivers. Lil Jordan had like 1,300 yards receiving, and Colin Johnson had like 986. And I'm gonna tell you what, bro. As much as I love Fulton, and I think Stingley's going to be a stud, the fact that you don't have great depth at corner, experienced depth at corner, you're going to bring a bunch of true freshmen on the road in front of 100,000 people facing those guys in that pass offense. I wouldn't feel great about that. But the fact that it's basically Colin Johnson, I mean, they got other guys, but not like Lil Jordan Humphrey. I mean, he was a stud last year, bro. I mean, that's That's massive. That guy just took himself out of this game, essentially.
Shout out to our boy Clapper for making the 53
Hey, man,
for the
I'm going to tell you
Saints.
what. You know, I love the guy. He got lucky because Cam Tom got injured. So they put Cam Tom on IR, and that's why Clapp made the team. I'm pumped for him. I mean, he's an NFL player. He was gonna if the Saints had cut him, he would have made a roster somewhere. But the writing was on the wall going into the fourth preseason game. Like it was McCoy, Easton, Tom, and Clapp was on the outside looking in. But good on him, man. Just keep surviving, bro. Just keep on surviving. Let's see. Taylor Johnson is Sadiq Charles left tackle next week. What you got on that, bro?
I would say yes.
I agree.
I would say with the new policy that you can pick the game for suspension, I would think that they probably knew what they had to do and knew that what they had on the horizon. And I got to imagine that Divinity and Sadiq Charles play a week from
New
tonight.
sheriff in town, bro.
Yes,
Amen.
indeed.
Amen.
I mean, they're trying to win football
Bro,
games here, man.
with that little bastard in Tuscaloosa who has guys like Tim Williams, who fails a dozen drug tests during his time in Alabama and never misses a game.
Or Cam Robinson and Hootie getting busted
And gun.
with drugs
Meanwhile,
and
you're
drugs.
kicking Tyrann Mathieu off the team. Like, you think? Do you think Nick Saban would have kicked the honey badger off of his team?
Never.
Hey, do you think anybody will ever be able to write the tell-all about this era of LSU athletics?
I hope so. I hope they do because they cut their feet out from under them so many times over the last decade.
Bruh.
It's not even funny. I mean, it's but I mean, like you think about that, and you think about what Jimbo's doing over there. Like, you know, you better keep up, man. I mean, yes, I think that Sadiq Charles will be the left tackle a week from tonight. I think that Michael Divinity will be on the field. I think that they'll be at full strength for their game against Texas because that's a huge game, and the head coach and the administration knows that now.
Stuart Gray, bring back Les.
Bro, looking at that, watching that Kansas team, was that pain? A trick play on a two-pointer to win it against a high school team. Get out of here. Get the fuck out of here, bro. Get out of here. Trick plays. Guys running a fake punt out of his own end zone with that stupid-ass microphone he had on his ear against Arizona State. Hester's got to block a punt. Stelz has got to block
Mario
a kick.
Stevenson,
I mean,
bro.
it was Mario Stevenson.
It was Mario Stevenson, bro.
Wait, didn't Hester block the punt and Stelz scooped and scored, and then Stevenson blocked one, and Hester
didn't scoop and score.
Hester blocked one though. He blocked one. Fucking Kansas. Give me a Everybody's gonna be talking about the Miles Magic. Give me a fuck. It's a fucking Division II game.
Oh shit! Oh god!
Wow. I can't wait till he gets. Dude, was it too aggressive to add him on the Dellinger stats? I gave him a
Well, it was aggressive and it was also wrong because you know as well as I do, and you know this, Jordy. He had Cam Akers. Like Cam Akers was coming. No. He got fired. And when Les got fired.
Whatever.
No. Hold on. No. Akers was the number one running back in the country, and Les had Akers like silently committed, and because it was Fournette, and then Geis, and then Akers, and they weren't going to sign like they didn't sign a running back in the class the year before, just like they did with Fournette, because it's like you're the guy, you're it, and they had Akers. Les gets fired. Akers goes to Florida State. Ed tried to get on ATN late, but it was too late. He was like, I'm good. I'll go to Clemson. You can't blame the kid. But you also couldn't blame Les. Come on, Les.
No. For him individually, he made the right choice. But then I see but then I see 10 carries for 205, and I want to jump through Twitter, bro, and get at that goofy
I'm with you on
bastard.
that, bro. But like, he had Cam Akers. Like, you can't be mad at him for going after the number one running back in the country and like having him. So, I mean, aggressive, yes. Also misguided, but whatever. Whatever, dude. It's what it is. It's a new day. And, and, and he's running trick plays against Indiana State. Oh, God.
You know what that was? That was the Philly special.
He did?
He ran the
He
Nick
did?
Foles play to
Oh,
win the
God.
game.
Well, no, that was on the 2-point conversion. Let's see. Dude, how about that? That's true, bro. Everyone's saying now, like, Florida State's a mess. Did you watch that game? Oh, bro.
Florida State, bro. Florida State's in shambles, man. And you know what else in Florida State? How do you still have the slicky track around your feet? Did you see Cam Akers nearly blow his knees out because he ran past the? You remember back in the day, dude, where the field remember the Superdome had it back in the day where if you like ran past the turf, you would slip and bust your ass because it had that slippery concrete. Florida State still has that around their field, like 10 yards outside of the end zone. Akers goes 60 today, nearly blows his leg out.
I didn't see him.
And slips up.
I saw the touchdown. I didn't see him slip.
How in 2019 did you even how does that even happen?
Dude, that's what happened to Reggie. Bro, that's it is. It's the greatest show ever. That's what happened to Reggie Bush, bro. Was he slipped similarly in the back of an end zone. Let's see.
And he sued the stadium.
He won. And that's like, remember the other guy from Florida State, Adrian McPherson, who got run over in a golf cart by the fucking mascot?
Yeah, he got run over by a golf cart. That's a saint.
Yes, and the Jacksonville mascot ran over him with a fucking golf cart.
Marshawn Lynch. Remember Marshawn Lynch on the golf cart?
But that's when he was with Cal. Like, dude was still in college. Dude, can you imagine? Dude, just imagine.
And his arm.
Imagine Clyde Edwards-Helaire right now jumping in a golf cart running around Tiger Stadium. Oh. Anyway, all right. Patrick Walker, best show to date, boys. Cheers. Hey, Matthew said, how do you feel about Zion being it? Was Zion at the game tonight?
Yes, all three of them were there. Null, Zion, and our boy from Texas.
Wait, what's the dude's name? Jackson. Wait.
Yeah,
who did you say was the first one that was there?
Zion, Null, Nikhil,
Walker,
and
okay.
3 first-round picks.
The kid from Virginia Tech. Okay, I got you.
Yeah. Dude, Barstool's got footage of Zion going into the boot last night in New Orleans. He's going to the LSU football game today. I mean, dude, I don't know what gives me a bigger rage, the LSU offense or Zion. The way he loves South Louisiana.
Hey, bro. Hey, you know what? Do you realize what you just said? Craig Schilling is going to have a field day with that right there. Like, that's done. That's done.
We're here for memes.
All right, let's see. What y'all got? We got to go to 11. We got to go to 11, so we got 15 more minutes. If y'all got questions, fire away. Let's go. All right. Let's see. T-Bob was commenting on Jacques Fisher. T-Bob was commenting on Kansas. Yeah, he was talking about like a drive that Kansas had where they went toss dive, no gain, or like lost 3 yards. They went zone read on 2nd and 13, gained a couple yards, and threw the ball incomplete, punted. It was 2009. I mean, it was. But dude, you know the craziest part of it, Jay. When they fumbled and Indiana State scored to take the lead, there's like 3-4 minutes left, or 2 minutes, 2.5 minutes. They just went like wide open and went right down the field and scored. like 4 plays. I'm like, what are you doing? Just do that. Like, just do that all the time.
Oh, man. He's mad.
Oh, man.
Mad.
Anyway,
Just,
it's a new day. And then Brandon Atchison just says, fuck T-Bob. That's poor guy. Oh, man. All right, let's see. Anything else? Let's see. Anything else we had to get to here? What's going on in our USC game? Oh, it's commercial. Oh, wait. 17-3. All right.
11:58. 11:58.
Right.
Yep, 17-3. Fresno's got the ball.
That's it. I'm trying to see anything else.
I don't know, man. I mean, like when I think about tonight's game, and I really want to be fair. Like I want to be.
Oh, wait. I'm sorry. Sorry. Go ahead. I got 2 more things. Go ahead. I interrupted.
Well, I mean, like, but really, you want to be objective here. And Scone, like, I'm truly trying, like, outside of the stuff, the little tidbits you pointed out, like not protecting Burrow off that blitz in the first half. You know, I think that Brennan was a little inaccurate in the second half. You know, Jamal Pettigrew had some drops. But really, outside of that, man, I don't know if the opener could have gone any better for what LSU was trying to do this offseason and implement a new offense and, like, come out game one. And I know that this is like a 20, like, you know, like a week from tonight, this is, you know, because the big game is on the horizon. We're in it now. We're looking at the Texans. So, like, you go to Austin and lay an egg and you forget about what happened against Georgia Southern. But where we are presently on the calendar, I don't know if LSU could have done – I don't know if it could have gone any better for them tonight.
So
really?
Someone just said where is it? Chris Collins, you actually watched. Brent, there was a question. But I'm getting at the T-Bob. Someone said T-Bob's a hack. I don't know. Here, C.R. Evans, how did Miles look to y'all? And then another guy said he was disappointed he didn't see Peter Parrish.
Good. I'm glad you didn't see Peter Parrish because you know what? You still have the 4 games to get Parrish the experience. And finally, LSU has a lineage of quarterbacks lined up in the program where these guys can finally get themselves prepared as far as red shirts and time and not taking meaningful snaps. I mean, the broadcast alluded to it tonight. Remember 2 years ago when we were talking about Miles Brennan being the savior of the program? I mean, if Miles Brennan's the quarterback for Ed Ogeron next year, he may not have a job last year.
How do you think he did tonight?
Like, if you look at Brennan and you say, Brennan, win me 10 games last year as a legitimate sophomore, physically he's not ready. Mentally, he may not be ready to grasp what they're trying to do. But now when you can get him into the program and 3 years in, he's starting to play some snaps. Next year, he'll start to take meaningful snaps after being on campus for a significant amount of time and having a chance to pay attention to the physical part of the game, get adjusted to the mental part, how to prepare. And Peter Parrish is the same way. I mean, long gone are the days of when you look at one of these Elite 11 or true freshman quarterbacks at LSU and say, save the program, kid. You know, like as a true freshman, like, we need you to play at Alabama. We need you to play in a big SEC game, and we need you to be ready to make plays. Like, it's unfair to them. You know, it's unfair to do them in the development of their football life. And now that LSU has a lineage lined up where you can redshirt, get guys lined up and get them into the system, Peter Parrish doesn't need to play tonight. Miles Brennan needs to play.
Okay, so I'll disagree on this front. You got Peter Parrish. Next, you got 2 quarterbacks in line to come in this class. There's no fucking way all those guys stick around. Like, it just doesn't happen. Like, Brennan is the outlier. Guys don't redshirt and wait their turn 3-4 years. Brennan's an outlier. So I would have played Parrish other than to say if he doesn't want to potentially give up a year, you know what I mean? Like, in the event that.
Real being like me and you, like just me and you on this broadcast right now, Max Johnson's garbage. They're pulling his scholarship. He can't play.
Okay, fine.
You know what I mean? Like,
fine.
Look at his film.
Fine.
But look at his film.
Fine.
Look at his film. You know what I mean? Like, you keep the kid out of Ponchatoula. And yeah, you keep Finley because Finley's had a good. I mean, like he
Okay.
can sling it. But I mean, that's another thing that I love about this staff is that they're realistic on the
Fine.
scholarships.
Fine.
You
You're
know, like-
realistic on scholarships. It doesn't mean quarterbacks are staying. Look at Keaton Thompson. He waited his turn at Mississippi State behind Fitzgerald. They bring in a transfer. He loses his job. He's gone. That's just what guys do. It's unrealistic to think all of these guys are going to stay. So the lineage thing, Jordy, the last three quarterbacks that have done dick at LSU were all transfers. Zach Mettenberger, Danny Etling, and now Burr. Because that's what. But Jordy, look at what's happening all over college football. Jacob Eason at Washington, Justin Fields at Ohio State, Jalen Hurts at Oklahoma. That's college football now. I mean, the whole culture of college football is all transfer quarterbacks. Guys don't sit and wait their turn. And what's more is you can have a Tua play as a freshman and be a guy. You can have a Fromm play as a freshman and be a guy. Like, that's not an outlier to have guys play young. And the reason is because offensive football in college now mirrors what people have been doing since, in the past decade plus in high school. And these kids, this is all they've ever done. It's native to them. It's not like they've got to learn a pro-style offense once they get into college and wait their turn. Like, is it beneficial? Sure, it'd be beneficial to play as a 20, 21, 22-year-old instead of an 18 or 19-year-old. But it's just not reality. So, like, Burrow leaves, Brennan plays next year. What if Brennan shit? Or what if Parrish says, all right, I'm not going to wait another year? And so he bolts. Like, are you going to be good with redshirt freshman TJ Finley starting in 2021? If not, then you go get a transfer, and that'll be your guy. And that's just like, I just think quarterbacks, you just have to take it year to year. And if there's a guy available on the transfer market who's a better option than you have, you take him unapologetically, and then you figure it out next year who your guy is going to be. I think you just have to play quarterbacks year to year. Like, and so the only reason I wouldn't have played Finley or Parrish tonight is if he said, Coach, I don't want to play. Like, I don't want to burn a potential redshirt transfer year by running out there to just token hand off the ball against old Georgia Southern,
Yeah. They just mismanaged the spot so bad. I mean, so blatantly over the last decade, the way that they've recruited it, developed it, and now it's refreshing to see that they have guys in line that can sit, watch, and be ready to play. I mean, like, it's easy to look at Jarrett Lee and say that he sucked in 2008. Yeah, well, you know what? Really and truly, it was unfair to Jarrett Lee to look at him and say, hey, man, we're the defending national champs. We need you to beat Bama.
Well, bro, a true freshman last year ripped Bama's asshole in the national championship game. So it's a different age, bro.
Yeah, but you know what, man?
It's a different Jordy. It's a different age, bro. It's just a different era. Like, even in the last 10 years, Jordy, you know this because you've looked at high school football every Friday for the last 10 years. Like, you know how the game has evolved and what the high school and college game looks like. It's different now, guys. Like, if you're 18 or 19, you've spent your whole football life running this offense. The last 10 years of your life, you've done the same thing you're doing now in college, unless if you're Kansas.
Fucking touchdown, Fresno. Let's go.
Where did my screen go? Oh, damn. Whatever, bro. You're losing this one, bro. Fight on.
I'm getting a look.
5 more minutes. 5 more minutes. We got to go to 11.
Okay.
Got to go to 11. All right, here we go. Let's go rapid fire. Hold on. Let's go rapid fire. Matt Presson, Jordy on top of the bar at Fred's preaching right now. What's up, Lenny Moss? Devin Kelly said, Matt, answer my damn question. I didn't see your question, Devin. Sorry. Trivia. Let's see. Michael Johnson. Kerry Hughes. I still haven't seen what makes Brennan special. Nothing new tonight. You know what, bro? Like, I'm going to be real with you, man. Here's the tough part about evaluating Brennan tonight. All right, so real talk will answer that question. Here's the tough part about evaluating Miles Brennan. He had a second-string offensive line. he was throwing to, you know, Jeray Jenkins and, you know, Racey McMath, not Justin Jefferson, Terrace Marshall, and Jamar Chase. So that's tough. Dude, you know one thing that did, like, all right, I will give you this. All right, here's maybe one more legit parting nugget. Who's the kid? Turner, the center, number 69. Charles Turner.
Charles Turner.
Brother, I'm gonna tell you this much right now. Did you see his snaps, his shotgun snaps? All right, if you DVR'd the game or whatever, go watch it. Miles Brennan consistently had to take a step forward to get the shotgun snap because this guy just floated a ball that was short. My point with that is this. Lloyd Cushenberry is not the best player on LSU's team by a long stretch. But Lloyd Cushenberry is the most indispensable player because if you lose him, you are screwed, brother, because you do not have anyone even close to that caliber at center. Not even close. Cole Smith transferring this offseason, we hadn't talked about that at all. That could potentially would be massive if Lloyd Cushenberry gets hurt because, man, you do not have an option behind him at center right now. And for the only two guys that touch the ball on every single player, the center and the quarterback, and that is a crucial relationship. And, brother, just when you go to church in the morning, you go to church in the morning and you get down on bended knee, you say a prayer for Lloyd Cushenberry. That the angels, that they put a cocoon of protection around him and keep him healthy this year because he is as indispensable a player as LSU has on this team. They got defensive backs, they got receivers, they got linebackers, they got lots of talented dudes. They don't have another center. They don't.
You're right. No, that's a fact. Scone, what about this week on air with the Herman Bowl?
Wait, real quick. Brian Huber said Matt Bakers or Old Forester. Depends on what Old Forester, but I'd probably go Bakers on an ice block or an ice ball. What about the Herman Bowl? What about the Herman Bowl?
This week. I mean, we got to play this up on the air.
I don't know, man. Like, what you want me to say? Hey, I wanted to know how to
don't forget about poorchoices.life. Check out POURchoices.life to find out what we're pouring all fall right here. My guy Craig Polk got me hooked up with the La Cabaret Sauvignon with the feather on the bottle to commemorate the ass whipping to the Eagles tonight, to the Georgia Southern Eagles tonight. Put another Eagle 6 on that one. Why don't you with the Tigers? How about the offense, Scone?
It's fun to watch, dude.
That LSU has.
It's fun to watch, bro.
It was so fun to watch.
Someone said, Brett Ploche said, what happened to Queen after the fumble recovery? Was he benched for the celebration? I didn't know. It's probably because they were up $1 million and they said, hey, let's put some of the other guys in. Yeah. I didn't notice anything like that. I didn't hear Orgeron's postgame. I'll go listen to it after this. So, the Herman stuff, I get why it could be a thing if we play it up. I mean, look, I wanted LSU to hire the guy. I think he's a great coach. I think he's going to do awesome at Texas. LSU didn't hire him. Like, okay, like Ed Orgeron's the guy. Tonight was awesome. Let's go to Texas, whip that ass, go to 2-0, cruise into the Auburn game, beat them, beat Florida, and then hopefully go to Florida and then Auburn. And then hopefully go to Tuscaloosa. Well, they ain't beating Alabama, but I tell you what, I feel much better after watching offense tonight.
Easy on that, bro. Easy on that. I'm telling you, bro. I mean, if I'm looking at Alabama today and I'm watching LSU tonight, take the opponent off. I mean, Duke's not any good. I mean, did you really think that Duke was going to compete with them?
Duke's better than Georgia Southern.
Okay, fine. I'll give you that. But they're still no good. Site.
What?
Come on, Scott.
Different than playing somebody's building.
They're still no good.
Bowl team. They're a bowl team.
They're still no good. I mean, this is what happens to him. He catches Duke without Daniel Jones. He catches USC without without Sam Darnold.
Bro.
I mean, you know, like, yeah, Duke's got the name recognition of where they've been the cover, but this is not Duke. This is not Cutcliffe's best team. You know, I mean, it's sure as hell. Forget debating the opponents of Alabama and LSU. This isn't Alabama's best team that he's had. This is a different Alabama squad than he's had, and especially defensively, he's very vulnerable. And LSU offensively, after night one, small window of evaluation, you're only looking at a small sample size. But you got to say that LSU's offense and looking at Alabama's defense, it's a different storyline this year. You're not playing. You're not playing not to lose. You're not playing not to lose when you go to Alabama. You're going to try to put the pressure on them with the offense.
All right, here's Kerry Hughes. Duke scored more points on Bama today than LSU has in Tiger State in the last two games.
How much did how many points did they score?
42-3. 42-3, I think. It's fine. Anyway, bro, my point is, I am with regards to the team in Tuscaloosa, I am completely defeated. Look, I'm bearing all.
No doubt. No,
I'm being straight up with you. I am bearing all. I'm cutting myself. I'm bleeding emotionally. They have defeated me.
They rent more space in LSU's head than the Tigers, than they rent in Texas A&M's head. I mean, like, as much space as LSU has in A&M's head, Alabama's got more in LSU.
Jordy, I'm defeated. LSU, I have no interest in even discussing Alabama, the possibility of beating Alabama. I'm not psyching myself up into believing it. Quite honestly, at this moment, at 11:03 on August the 31st, I don't give a single shit. You know what? I'm just super pumped that my team had an awesome showing tonight. And I think next week with game day in Austin, a really cool, true road game, go over there, get what could be a landmark win in the program. I'm pumped about that. And whatever happens in November, fuck it. We'll deal with that when we get to November. In the meantime, Auburn, Florida, Texas, there's a lot to look forward to in the season. And I'm gonna enjoy it. Yeah. And I'm at this point now where personally I'm learning to enjoy moments in this season and this program as it builds back up to what we really enjoyed in a stretch of about 10 years, which we haven't enjoyed in a while. But I feel like for the first time that the arrow's pointed in that direction. So we'll see if Ed can get him there, man. And if he does, I'll be wrong, but I'll do a backflip in admitting I'm wrong. So, and Saturday, a week from today, is a giant step in that. And it's got nothing to do with what happens in November. And we'll worry about that when November comes. I love you too. I love you too. All right, one more shout out to Plant Machine Works, y'all. They are tagged in this post. My guy Travis McGraw, really appreciate him for sponsoring Whiskey and Wine. Y'all do us a favor, if you have not done so yet, please hit the share button. Please like the Plant Machine Works page. If you know someone who is or wants to be a machinist, a millwright, a welder, looking for work, Plant Machine Works, they've been around Baton Rouge since the 1970s, man, 1977. Awesome family-owned business, second generation. Travis McGraw will be the third generation of a family-owned business, which is awesome. So y'all support these awesome people that support us, man. We appreciate y'all so much for watching Whiskey and Wine and allowing our shenanigans into your Saturday nights.
Pourchoices.life, P-O-U-R choices.life. Shout out to all of our people over at Plant Machine Works for Moscona Colada next week, man. Should be a great one over in Austin.
Later, bro.
Have a good night, brother. Later.